first roastery of the trip.
Yeah, I think we struck gold with this one. This one was just off the main street. It's called Carp DM, I think, is it?
Yeah, it is. And they had oat milk.
Yeah, roasting the beans in-house.
Yeah.
And there's a great selection here.
And it was right outside our hotel. We couldn't have.
So you get it literally the next door. Oh, it smells good.
Ooh. It's a little bit fruity, that meat.
It's really nice. And super fresh as well. Makes up for the bad one we had yesterday.
Yeah, the few bad ones we've had. A great way to start the day, though.
It is. It's our last day here in Corsica. We're just going to spend the day wandering around Ajaccio, and then later on today we're going to catch the ferry back to mainland France and make our way home tomorrow. It's another overnighter tonight.
Yeah, it is a really good feature to be able to have that night
On the
journey.
road. Yeah.
So you don't waste any time. Then we can have the whole day seeing the city and hopefully have a little wander along the beach later. So let's have these coffees and then go and explore Ajaccio. So we're just walking along the seafront here in Ajaccio. It's got a small beach with some white sand, and as you can see behind us, that's all the restaurants and bars along the seafront.
Yeah, there's not a lot of beach here, so I think it will get quite popular here in peak season. But the water looks really inviting, actually. It's super clean.
Very clean, yeah, and the cove that you're in makes it quite calm, I think, as well.
Yeah, and just round the corner from this little bit of a beach is what, the citadel or fort, is it?
Yeah, the citadel of Ajaccio, which is where we'll be heading to next.
The citadel was built in 1492 and was apparently used as a prison during the Second World War. We're just going to go inside the grounds now. I think it's open from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m.
And there's no entrance fee so far.
So far, no entrance fee?
There was a
That's
ticket booth, but no one was in it, so we've just walked in.
Didn't look like the ticket booth had been open for a few years, actually. There's quite a few cobwebs on it. Well, let's see how far we can get.
Quite interesting that it was used as a prison.
Yeah. So far, there's not a whole lot to see inside the fort, but there is this washing area where they used to wash their clothes.
On this side is
There's the
the
barrack.
chateau or the castle that was eventually turned into barracks from the Genoese when they were here. And then I think when they left and the French came, it was turned into a prison in parts and artillery was stored here. But it's had a lot of different uses, but there's not a lot to see. So we are on a wooden staircase that takes you up to a little viewpoint. You can see the citadel walls and a great view of the Gulf of Ajaccio from up here.
Next little room is the powdery, where they kept the gunpowder and the magazines. Interesting little fact about this one is these flying buttresses here, which connect the building to the outer wall, were there in case everything went up with a massive explosion, so that everything would go through the roof and not come out of the sides, so the building would stay intact. That was the theory.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, it was
Interesting to know.
to send the shock waves up instead of across.
Are we finished with this bit?
I think so. I can see why there's no admission fee. There's not a whole lot to see inside here, but 10 minutes, 15 minutes, little wander around. It's all right.
Napoleon was born here in Ajaccio, and a few days ago we were in court. If you remember, his mother fled here to Ajaccio when a court was attacked by the French.
walk around the city of Ajaccio, it's clear that many restoration work and a lot of building sites have commenced here, but it doesn't seem that they're being progressed at the moment. But hopefully when you're here in the future, the building work will have been finished. But for the moment, lots of things are under renovation. No French city would be complete without a Hotel de Ville, and here it is. It's actually a really nice building. It looks like it's being used for functions today.
Down here at the waterfront, you have all of the tour operators. They offer loads of tours of the different areas, but we would really recommend going to Bonifacio, where we were just a few days ago. Ajaccio is quite a port city. It's got a lot of hustle and bustle. There's loads of cars on the road and everybody is in a rush a little bit. It's definitely got the capital city vibes to it. Just down here as we're walking along, you can see some of the boats that take you on the tours, as well as the big ferry cruises that bring in people from mainland France.
Just behind me there, you can get a glimpse of the snow-capped mountains. If you come to Corsica, we'd recommend not spending too much time in the city, but get out and explore the wonderful landscapes of Corsica.
We just spotted a little market, but remember when crossing the road in France, they don't actually have to stop on the zebra crossing.
But if you get a couple of feet out, they usually do.
Yeah. This must be the Saturday market that they have on. Lots of local produce in here.
Some smells going on in here as well, isn't
There
there?
are, yeah. Interesting. Nice little wine bar where I'm guessing you can try a lot of Corsican wines, local wines from the region.
It must be a Saturday that's open, because yesterday there was not a lot going on here.
No,
but it looks really nice, the outside bit looks great.
Yeah, and I think even as we continue on through, we have more markets in the outside bit where you can have a wander. We're just wandering through the market and I've noticed that a lot of the pastries are a really reasonable price, especially compared to some of the restaurants that are out on the front. Looking at €1 or €2 for a traditional pastry here, so definitely come here if you're in need of a snack.
There are two main streets to the city. There's the main street there where all the cars are up, down, and this one which runs adjacent to it. It's a little bit more grungy, but also has a good atmosphere as well.
Yeah, this is a pedestrian only street, so it's great to have a wander through and also grab some dinner or lunch. There's quite a few restaurants, loads of shops, and all your souvenir bits and bobs are on this street.
All right, what's your impressions of Ajaccio?
I think it's quite sad in some parts. I think it's been a little bit underloved as well. And it's a surprise because there's so many gems in Corsica that it's a bit shocking when you arrive.
We're just heading onto the main street here in Ajaccio. This is Napoleon Street, I think, and this is quite a busy street as there is a main road for it, but it is the main street also, isn't it, where you'll find all your big
all
name
the shops,
Yeah.
Lots of restaurants, lots of parking as well.
Yeah, there's bikes everywhere here, which shows it's a really safe area, because last night we was walking around, there's literally hundreds of brand new bikes just left out on the street all night.
Some scooters even had their keys in it, or the helmet's not even locked up.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They just left the keys running. But we had underground parking, but in hindsight, maybe we didn't need that.
Well, I still feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Just in case, with a port just there. But I think now we're going to go in search of maybe something to eat and then head back to the hotel, ready to pack up. We're here at the Green Bagel for a spot of lunch. We grabbed a couple of juices. Mine is apple and ginger and lemon, which is actually really tasty. And I got what I thought was going to be a bagel, but it's half a bagel and a salad bowl to have for lunch, and then we'll be shortly heading off.
Our time here in Ajaccio is about to come to an end, but it's been an interesting little city to explore. In hindsight, we probably didn't need to stay here a night. Would have preferred, I think, an extra night in the mountains, to be honest, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think this is a great place if you're arriving and you have a couple of hours here, or if you're leaving and you have a couple of hours here, or if you're planning to do a big boat tour from here along the entire coast. This is a great place to do those things. But other than that, it is a little bit underwhelming compared to some of the gems that are out there in Corsica.
Yeah, so far everything we've seen in Corsica has been spectacular, but I think the capital, as nice as it is probably not for us. But anyway, we're going to head back to the hotel now. We need to pack up the bike because we'll be leaving in a few hours' time to the port that's just behind me there. We'll be taking the boat there back to mainland France. So join us in the next episode as we make our way home on the ferry.